Good morning, good evening, good night, family, caregivers, older persons. Welcome back to Lana's Little Things with me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist. You know, we're talking all things on living agelessly, family caregiving, bridging generational gaps, entrepreneurship, life, and just life itself and all of its changes. So, hope you've been having a good time and that you had a good, whatever time of day it is, it's good for you. We are continuing our discussion. This today we'll be talking about a feature that many persons have seen, and I've been asked. Went to a seminar today and was asked over. This is third or fourth time it's been coming up. The expression or the condition known as sundowning. And so we're gonna focus on that for tonight, for today, wherever you are, for today, because it seems it is quite distressing. It is disruptive. And what do we know about it? And is there any fix that can happen? So let's get right into it. Remember to like and subscribe, share this with a friend who you know may need it, and just I think you might need this. Press the notification for more videos like this. And really and truly, this is your channel for all things on aging. So, here we go. Sundowning. Well, as its name implies, the sun is going down, and the person with dementia, because it generally happens with the umbrella of dementia. Remember, dementia is just a huge term for all the other types. So, Alzheimer's, Lewy body, frontotemporal, vascular, all those things come under dementia, which is a change in your brain that affects, especially memory, can also affect behavior, can affect mood, and grad is progressive and declines and declines and declines. So, and different things come with that decline. So the sun starts to go down, and they start to act out what family members would say, "Oh, sun is going down. She's going. Mom or dad going down with it." All right, so what is it really? Well, imagine we all have a rhythm that tells us to wake up. And these are hormone releases, these are nerve releases, and these are chemical releases that tell us to wake up. And so you gradually wake up. You get more energy, it tells you stay awake. And then as a certain time goes, the, the rotation of the earth, everything, there's so many complexities. Again, hormones, different transmitters in our brain, different messages, chemicals come forth and say, okay, it's time to rest. It's time to slumber. You've been going all day. The body needs to rest, rejuvenate, and heal. So, what happens in dementia then? Because as soon as it starts to go down, this can vary from 3 o'clock, I've heard some caregivers say, to from usually it's 4 to 6 p.m. Sometimes it lasts a short time, sometimes it lasts the whole night, like the whole night, and nobody can sleep. So, and the varying behaviors can again be disruptive. So, let's understand it a bit. First of all, it's not a disease. It's not a disease, there's no pill for it. You didn't do anything wrong, they didn't do anything wrong. It's not a disease. It's not something that we can just pop a pill for or drink some tea for or something. It comes with the dementia. It occurs as part for the course for dementia. But it is a group of symptoms which at specific times of day your person the one you're taking care of with Alzheimer's starts to behave erratically. Causes are still unknown, and that's why it's so challenging because sundowning for some person is not the same for the other. But some things remain common, thankfully. Otherwise, we'd just be shooting darts and we'll just be playing, guessing games when it comes to this thing. So what happens then? What can contribute to it? How do they behave? How the persons behave, and what can you do? So behaviors, as we said, sometimes it can range from general agitation. You start to see them. I know some persons, they start to rub their hands, or they start to look around, or they start to call for people long gone, and get restless. They want to go home. Why are they here? Where am I? What's going on? What's taking up my time? When is it time to eat? And they've eaten already. I'm not tired, but they are. I didn't go anywhere, but they did. So that agitation, that confusion, that sense of bizarreness, like where am I in space, lends itself then to them not settling so that they don't sleep. Or if they sleep, it's very disrupted, and they pace and they pace, persons can pace all night long. This happens. Those of you who are family caregivers, this happens. If you are in early stages, you may feel a bit of confusion as the sun goes down, but it's not like when it's dementia has fully progressed. So take heart. These are some of the things to look out for, to be forewarned. Or at least knowledge is power, or at least potential power. There's also disorientation. They don't know again who you are. They might not recognize you. That can happen. Don't despair. So we'll talk. So those are what it looks like. What causes it? What are some factors that can contribute to this? Well, some factors that contribute to sundowning are just exhaustion from a full day of activities, or sometimes, how persons with dementia, if they're very agitated and they don't want to move around, they stay still in bed, morning, night, day, whatever, it just goes and comes, and they're in the same place. So there's no demarcation with them from morning to noon to night. So that, if they're exhausted, they can't process well where they are. If they're in one space all the time, especially if they're in a nursing home or hospice, and they may have to stay in the bed or confined. Many are great at maintaining natural light, but generally speaking, if you're in one place at one time, you start to lose track of days as well. But in dementia, it's multiplied times over. What about if the person is placed in a confused environment? So the doctor's office, that's a transition, and that can bring on so many different stimuli that it makes the person agitated when they get home. And so as the day goes on, instead of resting and relaxing, they're so wound up that they can't get to rest. As we said, our body has a clock. So the clock to say wake up, stay still, go sleep, it is dysregulated in a person with dementia and Alzheimer's. They lose the clock. It doesn't tell you the same thing is. And what can you do about that? So they just might be tired in the day, up, 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 up at night. Another sign of sundowning is the reason for sundowning. Low lighting. If you have a house, again, we're talking about day to night confusion. So if the lighting in the house is low, then it always looks like morning, it kind of looks like afternoon, it kind of looks like whatever. And then the person gets confused about whether it's day or night. So when it's actually evening time, some may get hallucinations because they're not really sure what's happening. The brain is trying to make sense, and it's making up things as it goes along. In addition to which, generally speaking, older persons do require less sleep by a little bit than younger persons. Now that, depending on the study you show, may suggest differently, that they may need a little more sleep. But studies suggest that if you go beyond 6 to 8 hours for an older person in the night, that if they do sleep, that confuses them and can contribute to sundowning the next day. So having a rhythm and a set time is always important. We will get to that. If they're hungry, thirsty, bored, in pain, if there's an infection, importantly, and if they're depressed as well, the processing of the brain, remember, is different. And so anything that disrupts their rhythm, their natural cycle, is going to disrupt them from sleeping. And it's going to create that confusion when, is it day, is it night, is it morning, where are we going from here? So those are what it is, what can cause it. So you can see already, you can already start to formulate in your mind, I'm sure, and you can put down how has sundowning affected your family life and what measures have you taken to mitigate these effects, and how, and did it work, how it's affecting. If you have any questions, feel free to place those in the comments below. Let me know how it's affected you. Were you surprised by that this is an actual diagnosis? Has it been disrupting your life? Do let me know. And if it's really overwhelming, remember, just email me, join me on my channel, just Lana's on my website, Lana's Little Things. We can have a free Zoom chat, 15-minute Zoom. You're overwhelmed, just let's talk. Remember, share this with a friend. So how can you reduce? Let's get back to this. How can you reduce? Because we can't stop it. How can we reduce sundowning? Again, so it starts with our clock is off, routines are off, stimuli are too much. So right away you have some solutions, some workable things that we can use. So have a predictable routine, have a schedule, have a map out for medication, time to wake, time to sleep, time to eat, bathe. All those things make it give the body a sense of regularity, a sense of, oh, this is what we do and this is what we do next. The brain loves predictability to a certain extent, but in person with dementia, pattern, habit works for us too. But habit becomes, it helps you as a caregiver to navigate the day so that they can know in their mind's eye, they can say, oh, this is what will happen. So keep it predictable. Plan for activities for exposure during the light in the daytime so that day is distinguishable from night. So open the curtains, let the sun shine in. Use there may not be as many incandescent lights as before, but you can have daylight lights and night lights which have different shades to them. But make the day as real as possible, as separate from night as possible. Plan for activities during the day. Remember, you don't want to over-exhaust, but you want to engage them so that they're not just doing nothing, and then evening time they're doing all sorts of things. Bizarre, and nobody can sleep. Remember, you need to sleep too. True? You do. Limit daytime napping. That's right. If you sleep in the day, you're not going to sleep at night. That goes to many people. Limit caffeine and sugar to morning times. And then when the evening starts to come on, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, start to get the house settled to go down. To tell the brain it's time to slow down, it's time to pause. So what you can do is reduce background noise. No television is overstimulating. It can bring, most of it is bad news anyway. And many times it can just be disruptive to their trying to process what's going on. Trying to focus on the TV, focus on what you're saying, focus on eating, focus on bathing, and then try to process whether it's there or night as well. Can you imagine? So brace for the space. So reduce background noise, turn the TV off, remove stimulating things, remove what they may have been fidgeting with if they had a fidget blanket, and then lower the light, dim the light, change the light to a night light film. Daylight has a yellowish hue to it. Night light has a whitish, bluish hue to it. So that can tend to really create the mood for, oh, this is different. Having a night having said that, when lights are out, have a night light so that if they get up in the middle of the night, they're not confused. If they're restless and they get up, they wouldn't injure themselves because they don't know where they are in space. So a night light, especially a sensor night light, is really, really important and good. Play games, play soft music, really get into, and it's good for you too, to really get into the thought, we're going down, we're going to sleep, we're going to relax. So those are the practical things. Now, everyone wants a pill, pop a pill. Can I get a pill for this? I need mom or dad to relax. I do. So, is there a pill for it? No. Although some studies might suggest that melatonin, which is again a hormone that helps us sleep, some natural melatonin occurring, you can use that. But that's not promoting any one thing. Some people have tried it with good results. Some have tried it with less than good results. Remember, there's no one size fits all. So, but general things being common, you want to maintain regularity, maintain habits, change the lighting, create different activities and atmospheres so that the person who has dementia, whose brain cannot always process things in the way that it will not process things in the way that it used to before, can actually distinguish day from night, because lack of sleep is unhealthy in general, and it can make a person with dementia more ill. Blood pressure can go up, stress levels go up, depression goes up, anxiety goes up, and they're even more restless as every day goes by. So it really is a good thing to nip it in the bud, recognize what it is, and we talked about that, things that you can do, and speak with your doctor if medication or natural or otherwise might be recommended. So, with that all said, sundowning is not a disease. It's part of the process of dementia. It's doable. It's frustrating, but there are ways that we can mitigate it. So I trust this was helpful. Share with a friend. Press the notification bell. Join me on the next Lounge Little Things, where we'll talk some more about, who knows, all things aging, entrepreneurship, or family caregiving. From my heart to yours, wishing you a great night's rest and all the best in everything. One day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time. From my heart to yours, Dr. Lana signing out, saying, sweet dreams, good rest. Mwah.